I've had many people tell me over the last few months that it's far too hard to be constructive in the way they lead during these tough economic times. I know that I find myself challenging their thinking and their feeling very passionately, because I strongly believe that during tough economic times is absolutely when we need our leaders to be unleashing their courage to be constructive. If there's ever a time that we need leaders to have the courage to be honest, to be open, and to engage in very real conversations with people that work for them, around them, above them, below them, it's during tough economic times. During these tough economic times, people are experiencing great uncertainty. I heard today, and I've heard a couple of weeks ago at different presentations that I've attended, that people are shifting back into fear. That we are seeing people make decisions, engage in life with great fear. Fear brings uncertainty, brings what's the future holding for me as a person in this business. So we absolutely need, rather than what we're seeing at the moment with leaders bunkering down, they don't have anything positive to say, they don't have certainty in what's happening. So rather than say something that might be perceived as negative or troublesome, they bunker down and say nothing. So then what happens is people start making things up. So during tough economic times, we absolutely need our leaders to sit and be vulnerable. Be vulnerable in sharing what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they do know, what they don't know, what they're worried about, what they're concerned about. But be very real. Because if we can have our leaders having that kind of courage to be real, we don't know what potential we could unleash. Leaders can unleash amazing potential by having the courage to be real. Because suddenly we can be more creative, we can be more innovative. In fact, people can start doing more with less. Because suddenly they can have passion unleashed, their real capabilities unleashed and maybe even recognised. But because we don't go to that place of courage and that place where we could have inspiration and creativity, and we bunker down and go to the place of fear and uncertainty, we don't unleash the potential that people in your business have. In fact, I listened to the founder of Mortgage House, Ken Sayer, talk a couple of weeks ago. And it was just so inspiring to hear him speaking about now is the time to, and he was talking about retooling or tooling up your people. Now is the time to invest in your people, to get them ready for when the better economic times happen. So one of the ways to do that is to sit and have real conversations with people around where the business is now, what the hardships you are facing currently, but where we're going in the future, and actually inspiring them to come up with some creative thought. So it's not just sitting on the leader's shoulders as to what are we going to do. So I absolutely say that we need our leaders to be constructive, to unleash the courage to be constructive in these tough times. And when we say be constructive, being prepared to share, to be vulnerable, to expose their own thinking and feeling, and also sit in a space where they really listen with the intent to understand what their people have to share. So during these tough times, go out there, unleash the courage to be constructive.